So anyway, here's another quickie. Something I see a lot of the newer lease operators doing is not putting money aside for maintenance. They think, oh, well, my truck is under warranty. I'm not really going to need that money. I mean, if something breaks, it's going to be covered, but that's not always the case. I mean, your warranty don't cover tires. Your warranty don't cover your clutch. Anything that can break due to normal wear and tear. And, my recommendation is always put money aside. I tend to put aside 10% of whatever I make. So, 10% of the take home after fuel and other expenses and whatnot, which I found is a general rule, good rule of thumb. And the way Swift does it is Swift does it on a cent per mile basis, which gives you steady, because the way they pay is by cents per mile, which is not the way most of the industry pays. Most of the industry actually pays on a percentage basis. So, when you're getting paid by that, you don't think in cents per mile, because that's just not the way it works. So, another advantage of having money in the maintenance account is, it constantly builds up. So, if an emergency happens, you can dip into that fund. And generally what I use it for is I save it up, so at the end of the year I can take that money out and pay my income tax. Because the income tax tends to be a big hit. You don't necessarily anticipate it. Mine last year was about $8,400, and this year it's going to be right around probably $5,800. It was a bad year. So, that money will build up pretty quick. Before you know it, you have 10, 15, 20 grand in it. The other advantage of it is that you can take that money and use it as a down payment to get another truck. So you don't have to keep leasing one from Swift or save it up for the balloon payment or whatever. But do take into account that you're going to that guy kind of made me paranoid. You're going to have to pay taxes on that income, because it is income, unless you're investing it, which is also a good idea. You should probably invest that money, put it into a savings account, because most of those accounts that you get aren't going to be interest bearing. So, you're going to want to take that money out of that maintenance account and put it into an interest bearing account that you have access to withdraw from. Credit unions are really good for this, and you also have the advantage if you get an account with a credit union is you build a record from them, and if you decide to keep leasing that truck, when you reach the period of the buyout, or even before the period of the buyout, you can actually buy out that lease with a loan from the credit union, and generally that's going to be better than the interest rate that you're going to get from any other source. For instance, from what I recall, the interest rate of the financing through Swift is about 20%, which is a pretty large interest rate. So, you don't want to be paying 20% interest on a $160,000 truck, or even an $80,000 payment, because that builds up pretty quick. That's gonna extend the length of that loan out pretty far. Oh, it figures. Try to be smart and it backfires. Oh well. So anyhow, that's it for this one. Like I said, it was a pretty quick one. So, keep the rubber side down, shiny side up, and all that jazz. If you have any input on the matter, go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe, so on and so forth. Drive safe, y'all.